Markets are rocketing today as Powell gives the markets a lot to hope for in his opening few words today, where he said that he could see the pace of rate increases slowing in December, that smaller interest rate hikes could start in December. They're still going to hike. They're going to still continue tightening. He said that they still have a long way to go. His message was pretty much the same as it's been, except this one statement right here, that rate hikes could start, smaller interest rate hikes could start in December. So alluding towards 50 basis points versus 75. Of course, a lot of that's going to depend on the inflation reading in the next couple of weeks that we're going to get. And it is Fed blackout right now for the next 14 days until we get the inflation print in the next FOMC meeting. And then once we get through that, then we'll have the all clear for a little while. If they do go with a 50 basis point rate hike instead of a 75, then we could see a nice little Santa Claus rally. So that's the big news for today. Of course, Sam Bankman-Fried is up with Andrew Sorkin on DealBook. So we're waiting for that conversation to take place. And Sorkin claims that he is going to ask the tough questions, address fraud issues and things like that, and not be soft on Sam. So we shall see what that looks like. That'll be 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time when that happens, and it'll be live streamed so that everybody can watch it. But right now, the Dow was up as much as 600 points, 1.75%, S&P up 2.66%, NASDAQ almost 4% at 3.79. And, all eyes were on the Fed today. Even though Powell was hawkish, he did say that they have more confidence in a softish landing, that they still need to get balance in the labor market, and housing is still a problem, as well as inflation. So pretty interesting response. A lot of short covering triggered there. A lot of the bears getting wiped out. So we'll have to see how this continues to shape up for the rest of the week and ahead of the next meeting. But markets could bounce around in this area for a little while, waiting for the inflation report in the next meeting versus just a complete reversal like the last time. This is the Dow right here, reaching out just past the high of yesterday before a little bit of a rejection. Same thing with the NASDAQ, almost back to where it was last week, and the S&P just getting past that level a little bit as the VIX continues back down toward the level of support at 20. Dixie reversing course. It was on a charge this morning, so was the 10-year ahead of the Powell presentation today. All markets were down just a little bit, expecting a more hawkish tone, which again, he was hawkish, but indicating that the size of the rate hikes will slow, but that the rate hikes are not going to stop. He said there's no pivot, there's no stopping anything like that, that it's going to be higher for longer, and that they still have a lot of work to do, and they're going to stay at it until the job is done. But the markets are going to take any good news they can get right now, as investors are rebalancing for the end of the month, trying to lock in their positions, a lot of short liquidations, and the hunt for the Santa Claus rally. So Bitcoin was up on the news today, had a little bit of a pop overnight anyways. It hit 17.1, has pulled back a little bit, could get all the way up to about 17.5 again in this range before a try to retest these lows as we move forward into the next Fed minutes. Ethereum kind of doing the same thing. XRP, Cardano, again, all of the altcoins, pretty much everything across the board, price action looking very similar, throughout the space. So right now, we will have to see how the markets look tomorrow after the dust settles, if this was just a short covering rally, or if this is going to be a, potential process of trying to put in more of a longer term bottoming range. So the Dow has snapped back quite a bit, whereas the NASDAQ looks like this could be a range where it could try to carve in a bottom, the S&P as well. But the Dow Jones has definitely reached out to a level that just doesn't look sustainable given where we are in the economy right now with a lot of uncertainty. But interesting day today, and it'll be an interesting evening with Sam Bankman-Fried. We'll just have to wait and see what that looks like and what he has to say. But that's a lot of eyes on that. And we have a couple more days left in the week as we move into December and see if the markets can sustain this rally into the end of the year, or if we unwind a little bit after the FOMC and then put in a charge toward the end of the year. So interesting times ahead. Big day for the markets today, and I will see you on the next video.